topic is numerical methods. The common subtopics are 1. Solution, that is root. 2. Algebraic. Or transcendental equations. F of x equal to 0, that is non-linear equation. By using, this is the subtopic, first subtopic. The first method, Newton Raphson method. The second method is bisection method. And the 3, secant method. Second subtopic is numerical solution to ordinary differential equation dy by dx is equal to f of x comma y comma y of x naught is equal to y naught. By using one, Euler's method. 2, Runge-Kutta method. The third one, this is not for EC and electrical, but it is useful for in other entrances or other higher studies, somewhere whenever you require some calculation purpose, some integrations, approximation method, that is Simpson's trapezoidal rule, is useful for all the streams. Numerical integration. By using first method, trapezoidal rule. And the second one, Simpson's rule. And Gauss-Seidel method for civil engineering, and numerical differentiation, 1 or 2 formulas for civil engineering stream, and Newton's forward interpolation formula, Lagrange's formula for civil engineering. That are for only the last 3 small subtopics for civil engineering only, but not for other. But anyhow, all the topics are useful for every stream. So first, before going to one by one topic, you should learn 2 basic definitions. Intermediate value theorem, that is, it finds the location of a root lies between 2 x values. Okay, we can't say the exact answer, but we can say a root of the given equation lies between 1 and 2 or 0 and 1 or minus 1 and 1. That is called given by intermediate value theorem. And the next, almost how many positive roots or almost how many negative roots. We can't say exact number of positive roots and negative roots, but we can say maximum positive roots, maximum negative roots, and minimum complex roots. That is by Descartes' rule of sign. That is 11th standard procedure. Okay. After that, we will start the regular topics. That is one by one. Here. intermediate value theorem. So please write the statement, then I will explain. If f of x is continuous in the interval closed a comma b such that f of a comma f of b are of opposite signs, that is fa into fb less than 0, then the equation fx is equal to 0 has at least one root, say alpha, between a and b, that is f of alpha is equal to 0. So whenever two function values are of opposite signs, that is a is first value of the first x value, I mean a comma b are two values such that f of a, f of b, their function values are of opposite signs. What is opposite signs? fa less than 0 and fb greater than 0, or fa greater than 0 and fb less than 0. In each case, product of fa and fb, that is fa into fb, is less than 0. Then definitely the equation fx equal to 0 has at least minimum one root, that value root lies between a and b. The roots are denoted by generally alpha. Okay, so geometrically see, x-axis, origin, y-axis. Now this is a, say this is b. Now a graph here take b, here take alpha. So a, b, the corresponding function value, this is a coordinate, and the corresponding b has a function value on the curve, that is b point. So this curve, this is a curve, y is equal to fx. This curve meets x-axis at alpha. Alpha is one of the value between a and b. So here fa, this is the value of f of a, and this is the value of f of b. F of a less than 0 and f of b greater than 0. Alpha is, that is f of alpha is equal to 0. When a curve crosses x-axis, automatically you will have the corresponding, wherever the crosses, that means the corresponding point, you have x value 0. Whenever x value 0, that the corresponding x value is called root of the equation. So this curve crosses the x-axis at a point alpha, where alpha is the x value, lies between a and b. Now see, the a is the starting value of the interval, b ending value of the interval, the function value, the curve starts from here. So f of a is negative, that is below x-axis. F of b is above x-axis, this y value. Okay, so this curve is continuous between a and b. That time in calculus, beginning of calculus, limits continuity. What is the geometrical meaning of continuity? Its curve can be drawn without breaking. So between a and b, I have taken a random rough sketch of the curve fx. This is a curve. Function value fa less than 0, fb greater than 0. Suppose if that curve meets like this, then this is one, second, third, 3 times it meets x-axis. This is say a point and this is say b point. Here fa less than 0, fb greater than 0. So it meets x-axis 3 times. So at least 1 means it is either 1 root or 2 roots or 3 roots or any number of roots, but all the roots lies between A and B. See, how do you find this? We can't find directly alpha value, but we can say our final answer, that is root, lies between A and B. Simple example. Fx is equal to x cube minus 4x minus 7 is equal to 0 is the cubic equation, given equation. Okay. Now, how do you find that A comma B? These are the two initial guess values for the root. So let's start giving 1 by 1 value for x from 0 onwards. So that is, this is also called the procedure of location of a root or trial and error method. So f of 0, put x equal to 0. How much? Minus 7. Whose function value less than 0? So you give two values for x so that their function values are of opposite signs. Until that you have to give the values for x. Whenever you get two function values are of opposite signs, okay, then you stop for giving x values. From which value of x you have to start? You have to give the values of x from which onwards? 0 onwards. Go on positive values. Go on positive side means 0, 0.1 or 1, 2. But better to give integer values, because if you take 0.1, 0.2, it takes more time for calculating. Okay. So you start for giving integer values on one side, positive side. So if you are giving 0, 1, 2, 3, etc., no two function values are of opposite signs, then stop for somewhere. Then you backtracking, that is in a reverse way, that is in the negative way. So suppose if you put x0 and 1, 2, 3, nowhere you get two function values are of opposite sign, then stop for giving positive values of x. Then you give negative values of x, that is minus reverse way, that is minus 1, minus 2. Okay. So f of 1, how much? 1 minus 4 minus 7. This is minus 10, less than 0. F of 2, 2 cube 8 minus 4 into 8 minus 7, that is minus 7. This is also less than 0. So f of 3, at least you give 3 to 4 values. 3 cube, 27, 4 into 3, 12 minus 7. So 27 minus 19, that is 8, greater than 0. So these are the two consecutive function values having opposite signs. Therefore, f of 2 and f of 3 are of opposite signs. Hence, this equation has at least one root between 2 and 3. Hence, comma, the equation fx is equal to x cube minus 4x minus 7 is equal to 0 has at least one root lies between 2 and 3. Now, a cubic equation has how many roots? 3 roots. Don't think that all the roots are real roots. To say a root is real, definitely that graph of fx meets x-axis. Okay. See, generally numbers are real numbers or complex numbers. If you get x value is imaginary, that is not a real root. Okay. So, a cubic equation has at most 3 real roots. Don't say exactly 3 real roots. Okay. See, sometimes while solving an equation, you may get imaginary roots. Imaginary roots always occur in pairs. What is occur in pairs means, if you get one root is 1 plus I, automatically you will get 1 minus I. So that's why an nth degree equation with real coefficients has at most n real roots, but not exactly n real roots. Please remember this point. This is just we studied in 11th standard theory of equations, 11th and 12th standard. Next, and some others logical points while solving these problems, you remember. If an equation containing a constant term, then no root is 0, no value of x is 0. If the equation does not containing a constant term, then the equation has compulsory at least one 0 root. Okay. Descartes' rule of signs. So Descartes is a scientist. He decided that signs, according to signs, sign means either plus symbol, positive or negative. Due to that symbols, he has given some procedure for finding maximum positive real roots, maximum positive roots, maximum negative roots, etc. Okay. Let f of x is equal to 0 be an nth degree equation. What is nth degree equation? That is, the highest power of x is n, whose coefficient is not equal to 0. Okay. Polynomial equation. Generally, nth degree means it is a polynomial equation of degree n. Then 1. Number of positive real roots is always less than or equal to number of sign changes in f of x. 2. Number of negative real roots less than or equal to number of sign changes in f of minus x. Now see, in fx, from first term to last term, observe the symbols. Signs means symbols. Symbols means plus symbol, minus symbol. So please maintain some gap from first symbol to second symbol to third symbol. These symbols are the coefficients of each term in the fx. Now, number of positive roots of that equation less than or equal to number of sign changes. Suppose there are 2 sign changes in the function fx. Then the equation fx is equal to 0 has maximum 2 positive roots. Less than or equal to means the number of positive roots cannot exceed the number of sign changes in fx. Cannot exceed means less than or equal to. Similarly, next step, find f of minus x. That means replace x by minus x and observe the symbols from first term to last term. Write that symbols and find the number of sign changes. Then suppose the number of sign changes in f of minus x is 3. Then the given equation fx equal to 0 has maximum 3 negative roots. Okay. Next, in this there are some important points. If an nth degree equation, polynomial equation, has at most p positive roots, real roots, and at most q negative roots, then the equation has at least n minus of p plus q imaginary roots, that is complex roots. Imaginary roots occur in conjugate pairs. in an equation nth degree, comma, if all the coefficients are of same signs except the constant term. Then the equation has at least one positive and one negative roots. Now let me explain. Once you understand this concept, Descartes' rule of sign, he has again directed some procedure. Nth degree equation, suppose x cube plus 3x plus 7. So it is a cubic equation, n value 3. If an nth degree equation, strictly speaking that polynomial equation, has maximum p positive roots, p means some number, and at most means maximum, q negative roots, then that equation has how many imaginary roots? We can't say number of imaginary roots, but we can say minimum, that is at least n minus of p plus q. N is the highest degree power term, and p, q are number of positive maximum roots, number of negative maximum roots. These are imaginary roots. Conjugate, that means imaginary roots, irrational roots always occur in pairs. That means 2 roots, 4 roots, 6 roots, etc. Conjugate pairs means, what is conjugate? We discussed in the matrices long back. 2 plus root 3 conjugate is 2 minus root 3. 1 plus I conjugate is 1 minus I. So always complex numbers roots and irrational number roots occur in pairs. Pairs means plus or minus form. Okay. And even number of roots also. Okay. And in an nth degree equation, that is 4th degree or 5th degree or cubic equation, quadratic equation, all the coefficients are of same sign. Suppose x square plus x minus 2 is equal to 0. X square coefficient is positive, x coefficient is positive, but constant term minus 2, that is negative. All the coefficients are of same sign except constant term. Then that equation has minimum 1 positive root and 1 negative root. At least 1 positive root and 1 negative root. So please keep these points in mind. I will give you one example, 1 or 2 examples. You can write here irrational roots also in this. Imaginary roots or irrational roots. So example, first one, let fx is equal to x to the power 7 minus 3x power 5 plus 4x cube minus 6 equal to 0. B, 7th degree polynomial equation, that is n value 7, highest power is 7 only. Okay. Now f of minus x, substitute x equal to minus x, minus x power 7 plus 3x power 5 minus 4x cube minus 6. Now signs of fx from first term to last term. First term symbol is plus, leave some gap, maintain some gap from symbol to symbol. Second term coefficient is minus, third term coefficient is plus, fourth term symbol is minus. How many changes? Plus 2 minus, and again minus 2 plus, second change plus 2. So that is 3 sign changes in f of x. fx has 3 sign changes. Next, signs of f of minus x. In first term coefficient minus, second term symbol plus, third term minus, and fourth term symbol minus. How many changes? Minus 2 plus 1 change, plus 2 minus. This is some simple diagram, changing symbol, changing sign, and minus 2 minus, that is no change. That is 2 sign changes in the function f of minus x. Instead of 3, better to write the words 3 sign changes. Instead of this 2, write in words. Now, according to this statement, this equation has maximum 3 positive roots. Similarly, maximum 2 negative roots. N value 7th degree equation. So, therefore, the given equation has at most or at the most 3 positive roots, real roots, and 2 negative roots. Hence, the given equation has at least n minus of p plus q, that is 7 minus of 3 plus 2, that is how much? 2 imaginary roots. Because of n is equal to 7, 7 minus p means maximum positive roots. This is 3 stands for p symbol and this 2 stands for q symbol. Maximum 2 negative roots, maximum 3 positive roots, and you see this formula n minus of p plus q, 2 imaginary roots. So this equation has minimum 2 imaginary. What is minimum 2 imaginary roots means? Either 2 imaginary roots or 4 imaginary roots or 6 imaginary roots, because it cannot has more than the degree 7. So the maximum number of imaginary roots is up to 6 only, but minimum is 2. P stands for positive roots, Q stands for negative roots, maximum case. At most means maximum, at least means minimum. Please remember this terminology, which we already discussed in probability statistics. Second example, which is asked in 2013, 2 marks. A polynomial fx is equal to a4 into x power 4 plus a3 into x cube plus a2 into x square plus a1 into x minus a0, with all coefficients positive, comma, has options A, no real roots, B, no negative real roots, C, odd number of roots. You may get confusion between no, this one, and number. Better to write number, full word, full form. Odd number of roots. Option D, at least 1 positive and 1 negative real root. See solution. Here it is given all the coefficients are positive, but C constant term is negative. Since all coefficients are positive except constant term, that is minus A naught is negative, okay. Therefore, the equation, given equation fx equal to 0, this is our fourth degree equation, has at least one positive and one negative real root. Just see, after this statement, have provided that related formula. Now see x cube minus 3x minus 7. We cannot solve by trial and error method. That is, we can't get that integer roots directly. So rational roots, etc. Okay. So these problems are very difficult to solve by our 9th, 10th, 11th standard method. So numerical methods. Numerical methods means gives approximation. Analytical methods means direct methods. Solving quadratic equation, cubic equation, 11th, 12th standard. That is called direct methods, which are also called analytical methods. Analytical methods gives 100% exact answer. Numerical methods, 95% problems gives approximation answer only, but not exact answer. So now we are solving this type of equations, non-linear equations, algebraic, transcendental equations. Say an equation containing trigonometric terms or exponential logarithms, e to the power minus x equal to 0, sin x minus x equal to 0, etc. So these are called transcendental equations. These equations are very difficult to solve by our childhood classes, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, etc. by numerical methods solely. The best method is, of all the numerical methods, best method is Newton-Raphson method. Okay. So this is algebraic equation. Simple example of algebraic equation which cannot be solved by 11th, 12th, 10th standard methods. This is by numerical methods only. Now how do you proceed for solving these problems? So it takes large number of steps, iteration formulas. These methods are also called iteration formula. Iteration methods means step-by methods. That means stepwise formula, step-by-step method. Okay, that is called iteration formula. So here x is a root of the equation. X is root. So x naught, this is called initial guess or starting value or initial approximation to the root x. So we can't find the exact answer in 95% of the problems. So let us start x naught. It is a value very closely approximated to the root alpha. Okay. Now to get better answer, better approximation, we should apply some iteration formulas methods, that is Newton-Raphson bisection method, secant method, etc. Find x1 by using one of the iterative formulas. So this is also very closely to the final answer x root, but it is better than this x naught. So like that, you have to find x2, x3, so on. These are called step-by-step iteration values. X naught is the initial approximation root to the root. X1 is the first approximation to the root. X2 is the second approximation value to the root. So when you are increasing 1 by 1x, you will get better answer. But because of 1 mark, 2 marks, the questions asked what is the first approximation route, second approximation route only. Actually, this is a descriptive questions which we have studied in, which already studied in BTech first year, second year numerical methods. So 16 marks, 12 marks, 8 marks also. So where do you stop this procedure by finding x1, x2, x3 until two consecutive iteration x values are same up to desired accuracy, or difference between two consecutive x values is negligible. What is up to desired accuracy? Generally the questions asked find a root of the equation, first approximation or second approximation up to 2 decimal places. That 2 decimal places is called desired accuracy. So while solving these equations, say first x1 answer is 0.2932 etc. The question requires up to 2 decimal places. So you know rounding errors, rounding the decimal place. If the third place greater than 5 or equal to 5, add 1 to the previous digit and discard the digits from third onwards. If the third place is less than 5, then discard the digits third onwards. Don't add any number to second place. You know this type of rounding errors through calculator. Many of you know this, rounding the decimal point. Okay, so that is called desired accuracy. Now the first method is Newton-Raphson method. One, Newton-Raphson method. Very important. Out of 10 times, 8 times priority given to this method. This is also called the method of tangents. Now explanation. Let f of x be a continuous function then the Newton-Raphson, in short it is called NR, N-R, iterative formula for finding root of the equation fx is equal to 0 is given by xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash xn for n is equal to 0, 1, 2, so on. In particular, for n is equal to 0, comma, x1 is equal to x naught minus fx naught divided by f dash x naught. Here x naught is the starting value or initial guess value or initial approximation value to the root alpha. So this is the iterative formula giving 1 by 1 value for n beginning from 0. You will get x1 depends on x0, x2 depends on x1, and this iterative formula depends on two function values. One is f of x0 and its derivative. So that's why this is called method of tangent. Slope of the tangent to the curve is f dash x0. Okay. So if xi xn and xn plus 1 values are same or difference between xn and xn plus 1 is negligible, then stop the process. What is the meaning of stop the process? While finding x1, x2, x3, where you stop? Two consecutive x values same or difference between two consecutive x values is negligible, or up to desired accuracy of the given problem. In the given problem, he mentioned where to stop. Then up to that you have to continue and then stop.